Hey YouTube, so in true Sarah Michaels fashion, this is another video from my van, which brings me to the conclusion that we're definitely just gonna call these van vlogs, and that's what I should just call my channel right now. Anyways, so I don't even care about this right now. It has been a really long day, you guys. Like, this is where I'm sitting right now. It's 26 degrees in Wisconsin, and would you like to see my dinner? This is what I ate today. Thank you Quick Trip for the like $2 cup of chicken dumpling soup. I did have to buy it, but I've been on the phone with lawyers all day. Lawyers and phone calls and writing a letter. Here's what happened. I'm gonna be honest with you. So the mechanic kept our car and wants to charge us nearly $7,000 in storage fees. This is gonna be like a whole separate series so that anyone who's experiencing this, you guys can also maybe get some help. So this video, I'm not going to go into any of the legal details. I'm just going to tell you what's going on, like here's our experience. So long story short, if you guys have stuck around the channel at all, hi, I'm Sarah. Recently, my husband and I, if you see this, we're traveling full time, right? Like we're currently living in a camper. Well, not now in Wisconsin. We're staying with a family member, but like traveling, I put this in quotes because we're not traveling like one of those adventure travel families, okay? We're traveling because we have this desire to create a solid foundation and build up a wealth future, and it was just not happening in our old lifestyle where my husband worked 9 to 5. We paid for daycare. By the way, daycare for 4 kids, you're looking at like $2,400 to $2,600. It's insane. That's more than he made at a minimum wage job. And we just got to this point where we were like, this is so stupid. My husband was going to work just to pay for, you know, a rental house, and not even all of daycare was covered. I wasn't building my business because we tried to save money, and I tried to watch the kids while he went to work just to pay for what? Like an expensive car? Like it was just really dumb. And so when we started asking ourselves the questions, like how can we do more with what we currently have? How can we leverage our lifestyle? How can we eliminate expenses? Like, what if you get rid of all of these expenses? You also get rid of the need for income. So even though we're on one income right now, because of the expenses that we've eliminated, we're actually further ahead financially every month than when my husband and I were both working traditional jobs, which is crazy to me. So that's the background. Long story short, we just got to this place where my husband had a nice car. It was an Audi A4, like really, or Audi, however you say it. Some people say Audi, I like it that way. Some people say Audi, which is, I'm pretty sure, the correct pronunciation. So he's got this nice car, right? Yeah, well, what's not so nice is the monthly payments. And I'm sure that if any of you out there have a car that you've purchased brand new, payments are a little ridiculous. So we talked about it, and we decided the best thing for us financially was just to take the hit and to start fresh and to eliminate our monthly expenses. So we talked to the bank and we said, look, we want to surrender the vehicle, AKA a repossession. Like that was our choice. We felt like that was the wisest thing to do. And the vehicle was currently at a mechanic shop. It had the engine actually blew, the timing chain or something, and so it had to get repaired. So the vehicle had gotten towed to this mechanic place. Thank God, you guys, that our warranty covered the cost of that repair, because that would have been $7,000, right? So anyways, the warranty covered the cost of the repair, And we contacted the bank. We let them know where the vehicle was at. We, told them, we got the keys sent off, or however that worked out to be. You got the keys in there. And that was that. We contacted the mechanic, and at the time we were having some very bad, like, financial hardships. I mean, you guys, it was bad. I know people are worried about us now, and I'm just like, y'all should have been worried about us a year ago. Like, we were in a bad place. So anyways, we called the mechanic and we said, look, we're having some financial hardships. We can't make our payment right now. Mind you, it was only $200. He had just received a check for nearly $7,000 from our insurance warranty place. Mind you, yes, I know we were responsible for this, and we're very honest people. I've got a lot of integrity. I believe that when you take something, you pay it back. Like, you owe that, right? So when we said we'll pay you, and he's like, whatever, just pay as soon as you can. Okay. So we let him know the bank's going to come pick up the car. He's like, okay, great. Told the bank to go pick it up. Talked to the lawyer, and they're like, we're going to go pick it up next week. I'm like, all right. Well, a couple weeks after had gone by, hadn't heard anything. I called the lawyer up and couldn't get a hold of him. So I was put through to his assistant and was pretty much told that basically this is how it made me feel. It made me feel like I shouldn't be calling, that they would let us know when something was up. And she just told us, well, it takes a little bit of time for these, to go to auction, and then we'll contact you with the deficit debt or the settlement, because we knew we would have to pay the difference from the loan amount and the amount the car actually sold for, which, whatever. We were like, whatever, we'll go ahead and do that. Okay. So imagine my surprise when 2 weeks ago, I get a phone call from the mechanic. Not a phone call, I get a letter. Excuse me, I got a phone call today from the lawyer, so my brain is just buzzing. But we get a letter in the mail saying that we owe $6,870. And I thought, oh my gosh, why didn't the warranty cover it? And then I look at this bill and I'm like, that is for storage fees. What the hell? What is even going on right now? So, and I'm trying to figure out, why does the mechanic still have the car? Wasn't it repossessed? So I call the lawyer, and the lawyer tells me that him and the car dealer guy have been in contact with each other. And I'm just thinking, none of y'all could have called and let me know that the car didn't get repossessed? Like, what the heck is going on? And then the bank tells us that, or the bank's lawyer, okay, so that's the repossession guy or whatever, tells us that the bank is coming after us for the amount of the car and their legal fees, because they had to hire this lawyer for longer than intended to deal with all this crap. They're trying to sue us for their legal fees, which is within their right, I suppose. So anyways, that's where we're at right now, and just trying to figure out, because the mechanic, and then I called him right away, and he talked to me on the phone, and I was like, what? Why didn't anybody call? And he's like, well, there's a sign in my shop that talks about storage fees. The whole thing just doesn't, it feels upsetting. And I was upset. It's like, well, shoot, so if somebody could have called us, maybe we could have paid storage fees then, or taken care of it, because now storage fees have been accumulating since this vehicle was supposed to get, repossessed and taken. It's just a big mess, you guys. And, we just financially got to the place where we could pay him back and pay him off. And I was like, this is the first month that because we've slowly been paying off all of our back debts. You guys didn't know this, but when we moved out, we didn't get a security deposit. The landlord hadn't come to see his house in years, and the house was settling in the sand. The doors wouldn't open, and he was trying to blame us and sue us. And I'm like, this was not me. Yes, kids made a mess on your carpet, I can totally understand, but the rest of the house, it's like, dude, your house is falling apart. You're just pissed at yourself. So there was that whole thing. Then we didn't get a tax return, right? It's just been a lot of financial frustrations. And I totally believe that all of this work to get us to financial ground zero is going to be totally worth it. It's just like really making my head swim right now. But anyways, long story short, up until this point, we weren't even at a place where we could really go and just pay this, like just pay it off. It's like we couldn't do that. So we had all these things come up, and then, oh gosh, just big things. You guys, I haven't even told you, like child support screwing everything up and taking our tax refund, taking it again, and then saying that we owed another additional $1,800, and we were just like, oh my gosh, what the heck is going on? This has been my life since about May. Since we moved out, we've been doing our best to get everything settled, and then this was just like a kick in the pants. Like, so the mechanic, long story short, the mechanic is trying to keep our car and sell it. And so now the bank's lawyer and the mechanic are fighting, but yet we're here, like, we're getting screwed because the bank is trying to say, well, you let your car do this, and it's really that dude's fault for not releasing the vehicle. And we also did some digging and found out that there's a maximum allowable amount that can be charged for storage in Wisconsin for a mechanic's lien. And he's like, $7,000 is not reasonable. So we offered him before, like at the time a couple weeks ago, all I had was an extra $50, and I was like, all right, man, I don't know if you're willing to take $50 extra, but that's all I can do right now. And we just looked at our budget this month, and we have about $600 we could give him, which is pretty darn close to the maximum allowable amount by law, from what I've read in the law thing, because I've just been pouring through articles like a crazy woman. Like, are they even allowed to do this? Because if this would go through, right now this guy right back here is saying that he owns our vehicle and he's going to sell it. Well, then the bank's going to come after us for the $14,000 plus $5,000 in lawyer fees. And I'm just like, well, there's 20 grand I don't have. And even if I did have 20 grand, let me tell you what I'd do with it. I would want to go buy some land so I could put a sustainable tiny home on it so that we could continue to live debt free. Like, that's our goal. So, my goodness gracious, you guys, that's the current. I had a stress test cardiology this morning, which I put the update down there. I'm telling you, they should have done the stress test this afternoon after all these lawyer calls, because I'm like, ah. But long story short, I am really grateful too, because where do I even go? Like how do I get a lawyer on a budget? What the hell? We're on one income right now. Family is 6 on one income. Like, how the hell are we even going to pay for a lawyer? Well, I am really grateful. I have an entrepreneur friend who put me in touch with his legal, I don't know. He just had a recommendation. I will let you guys know how this works out. And I will put a link below, because if this goes well, this is like a very little known, I think I found a little secret gem ninja lawyer tip here, because this is just like, it's really awesome, and I'm super grateful. So I'm going to give the guy a call back tomorrow. I had a consultation with him today. I was really impressed, and fingers crossed he's going to help us get this resolved, because I just want to get the car. I want that car and get it to the bank. The worst part is that I can't prove it, but we have a sneaking suspicion that somebody is driving the car. Maybe not. Maybe they're not. It just almost like sounded like when we talked to the guy the one time, that he's like, well, legal, I assumed ownership on the 15th because I sent you this letter. And I'm just like, I don't think that's how it works. And I kept asking where the car was, and he was like, well, technically. And I'm just like, all I want to know is if the car is like safe, because technically right now it's still our responsibility. I don't want anything freaking happening to that vehicle before I can get it back to the bank. So that's where we're at, you guys. I will put this into a playlist, and I will do updates on this topic and record more specifically like what the resources I found when dealing with a mechanic lien and lawsuits and stuff like that. So there's that. Thanks for watching. Wish me luck. I'm gonna go home now because I've been gone for a long freaking time. Bye.